Charlie Kirk, 31, husband, father of two, man of God. Well, he's dead today after being shot at a free speech event in Utah Valley University. This guy commanded a bigger presence among the youth of America than I think probably anybody else, arguably delivering a substantial portion of the president's vote in that demographic. I mean, this guy was incredibly well respected for his public persona, but his unwavering commitment to truth is never going to be, that's going to live on forever. He was a common figure at basically every single Trump event. He was somewhat regular on this network. Almost everyone here at Newsmax knew him in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's, for all of us here, we were standing around before this show, before all the other shows, right when this happened, looking at each other in disbelief. It's surreal that we're reporting on this. And as of now, that shooter's still at large. We have basically no reports on whether or not the shooter they even have any leads on this shooter, definitely not been apprehended. But I think it's time to have a broader conversation, because this changes everything. This was the first of many scheduled events that he was supposed to do on his American comeback tour at college campuses. Mid-sentence, while ironically discussing transgender mass shooters, he was shot at an event where everybody was encouraged, like-minded or not, to freely express their political opinions. How many times have we been told, though, that MAGA is the problem? I'm getting honestly sick of it. Just this week on CNN, though, Van Jones called out Charlie Kirk personally.
For someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race, white, black, or anything except him.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. No Republicans have tried to assassinate Democrats in the last 18 months that I know of. We're not the problem. People like Van Jones are. I seem to remember two deranged leftists who tried and planned to assassinate Donald Trump, and now someone just assassinated Charlie Kirk for free speech. One of MAGA's most prominent, outspoken surrogates. This is not how a civilized society acts. The left is a problem. It doesn't have a problem. They are the problem. Because every time something like this happens with a conservative victim, or in the case of even the North Carolina woman who had no known political leanings, who was killed, murdered, at best, there's some lackadaisical response. There's no mass condemnation of political or racial violence. And if there is, it comes with some sort of caveat. It's unbelievable. I'm done tiptoeing around this issue. Another person is dead. I knew Charlie Kirk personally. I mean, we weren't best friends, but I knew him fairly well. I've spoken at events with him similar to this. I mean, a lot of us were sitting downstairs before this show thinking that could have been us. That could have been one of us. Any other host at this network who associates with him. The left lectures us about saving democracy at every corner, yet it's members of their party who's trying and succeeding, as we saw today, in assassinating opposing voices, which is the fundamental principle that behind the democracy that elects our constitutional republic. Unlike the left, I'm not jumping to irrational or emotional conclusions. I'm not even jumping to legislation here, but rather we need a cultural shift. I mean, this type of stuff radicalizes people. How many conservatives are nervous about this? I am. I carry a gun and I'm nervous about this stuff. America needs to cast away, America, society at large. You need to cast away, berate, single out, report people who even remotely justify this.
He's also a controversial figure at times. He goes into these various college campuses, pushes conservative issues, gets into heated back and forth often with these students on these college campuses. But of course, none of that is violent.
The point of the First Amendment is to be able to have these conversations that sometimes are uncomfortable, sometimes that we don't agree with. The point of this type of violence is to shut this event that was signed against Charlie Kirk. They had 7,000 people try to stop him from coming to that university and deny his First Amendment rights because they disagreed with it. Maybe you should start with looking into all 7,000 people who signed that petition. Just saying. The same people who rushed to condemn any narrative whatsoever against the young Ukrainian immigrant who was stabbed by a black man. Within 18 minutes of this shooting, though, this is what NBC tweets out. Can't be political on their side, but they tweet out breaking shots fired at Utah Valley University featuring right-wing political activist Charlie Kirk. Katie Tur. She's not even interested in a solution. She's just worried about Trump's reaction.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. The carjacking situation, he used that. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something.
I mean, get bent, lady. You're damn right Trump's going to do something about this, because this is what we pay taxes for. So kids on a college campus don't have to worry about their speaker getting shot right in front of them. But I mean, like, immediate deflection to any feasible option other than the fact that this was a deranged leftist committing political violence too.
He's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
It's like a psycho justification for that. I don't even think they had publicly reported him dead at that point. I mean, you know what Trump should do? Bring the hammer down on these people. Anyone who insinuates this type of violence going forward. The left always looks at what can be done in the wake of these shootings when it comes to guns. And they usually pass some stupid legislation that wouldn't have stopped it anyway. I think it's time to aggressively address the problem. People who say they're going to do things like this, I mean, we're already seeing the tweets now of people saying, look for something big, Charlie Kirk, literally wishing death on Charlie Kirk. How many times have we seen shooters, and they're like, oh, yeah, we saw this coming, that we knew there was something wrong with that guy, and then they did nothing. How many times have there been terror attacks or other attacks, shootings, mass shootings, school shootings, anything else? And the FBI is like, well, the guy was on our radar. Well, then why didn't you do something about it? Here's the simple solution that can be done today, which would stop a lot of these, which should have been done, honestly, before they shot Trump in the ear. If you say you're going to shoot someone on social media or whatever medium you use to communicate, you should be arrested. You don't get to threaten people. That's not a First Amendment right. Look, they accused Charlie Kirk of being the instigator. He's not the one shrieking. He's the one inviting people to discuss their points of view that sometimes oppose him freely.
Why do you care so much about what I have to say?
You're taking away people's choices. You are hurting people.
Something I find kind of repulsive is that I believe you said that the Civil Rights Act was bad.
I don't advocate pure democracy.
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then why would you buy it?
Because there's no other options in our capitalist country.
No, you're just here to insult me.
Yeah, I am. You're really good at lying out of your.
It's fun to watch people come up and have valid points, but then you sit there on your little high altar and just do this.
I didn't see him be rude to anybody. It was them being rude to him, threatening him. The left is constantly, they're always, we need more dialogue and civility. They're calling for all this stuff. That was Charlie Kirk's entire shtick. But they don't actually want dialogue. These are the people that the Democrat Party welcomes with open arms, those freak shows. Lock these people up. Doesn't violate any constitutional rights if you're making threats. It doesn't negatively affect the rest of us law-abiding citizens like the left proposals. It addresses the problem. But the real solution has got to come from the left's own party. Stop calling us extremists. Stop calling us right-wing nutjobs and terrorists and racists. That's why Charlie Kirk got shot. Because you people, you Democrats, have normalized a hatred for the right to such an extent that your craziest party supporters are acting on it. We're not the problem. Guns aren't the problem. We own most of the guns in this country, and we're not the ones out there shooting people. The left needs to get their party in order.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.